tomorrow. And now I'm gonna go change. This is when I went to Reverend Horton Heat concert. Metal Jesus got this for me. It's bandana, but I made it into a little top with some shorts and some sexy heels. My legs are so bit up this summer. Danielle,
Hi.
you're gonna take Mertz. He's gonna get some treatments.
He is, and today they're doing training for ultrasound, so he might get an ultrasound. We had to fast him, and I'm really worried about that. I feel like, is Fred gonna be confused? Like, why aren't you feeding me?
I know he's very upset, by the way.
Oh, Mertz.
All right, Mertz. See you in a little while. It's so funny. You know, today, when I woke up, the first thing I really do is start like I'm getting my coffee and everything, going through my emails and things like that. Oh my goodness, would you guys like me to do a getting ready with me in the morning or the day in the life of kind of video? If you do, comment below and let me know. But anyways, so usually what I do is like, that's when I go through my emails and things like that. And that's when I go on Twitter, mess around on there for a little bit. And then I start to like, you know, I go and post like my OnlyFans, because on my OnlyFans I post something every single day. On my Secret Society, there's certain days of the week, almost every day, that I have uploads going as well, or updates. So those are the two things like I really focus on. And then like that's when I'll show, if you guys want to see, I'll show you. Just you got to comment below though and let me know. But so I did some work this morning is what my point is. Then I had to play soccer mom today. I took Metal Jesus to work. I took Fred to his appointment. He's still there. And then I just did my thing. I had to go in my little Shelly world, which is my Shelly world. And no one, including Metal Jesus and Danielle, doesn't know about my Shelly world. Maybe one day I'll talk about it, but not now. It's just my little world. It's mine, you know. Occupancy 1. Did I say that right? That sounded funny. So I'm tired. I don't know if it has to do with like I just ate. I'm tired. So I know pretty soon I have to go get Fred. So I'm just gonna take like a little 30-minute nap. And here's the thing, like I'm a firm believer in naps, especially like, oh, it feels so good when you just sleep for as long as you need to, but then sometimes you sleep too much, right? Then you wake up more tired. And then other times, maybe like you don't, no, I guess I just messed up my point. So it feels good to sleep when you need it, right? Let me start this over. I'm not even gonna edit this out because I'm lazy. So it feels good, but then there are those times that it's like, oh my gosh, I slept too much. I feel like more tired. And that's when I like did more research, and like I know for a fact, especially from my own self, that taking like a 20-30 minute nap is like good. You're good. Even if sometimes you might be a little tired after, it's still better, right? So a lot of times I was talking to Alexandria Hamilton many times about this. She gets on me about this because she doesn't want to see me get stressed out, but like I put guilt on myself. Like if I'm oh, you know, I gotta work, you know, I gotta be doing this and that. And she's like, Shelly, what we do for a living is so like not 9 to 5. Like, you know, you can do it accordingly. So I try to remind myself of that. Shout out to Alexandria Hamilton and Modest Moms Wrestling. And you know what? It's helped me. Her telling me that on more than one occasion has totally helped me find that balance and be like, dude, I'm still, as long as I get my work done, like, hello. So right now I just tweeted, if I take a nap, my day can restart, right? And the reason why I said that is because I made a poor decision. And I'm going to take a nap first so I can reset, and then I'll tell you guys what that poor decision is, okay? BRB. Well, I laid down for about 20 minutes. I feel really good. I feel like I'm not as tired as I was before. Danielle wrote me a text saying that, hold on. They can't believe the great shape he is for his age, meaning Fred. And they were so impressed with his ultrasound and everything looks good. And this makes me so happy because Fred Mertz is just like, here at the new place, I've watched him become more alive again. And after Ethel passed away, Fred changed, and I thought that was just how he was going to be forever until, you know, just it was going to get worse. So to see that, you know what, he was just depressed too, just like we were, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go get him right now. So even though I didn't get my nap, I do feel better. I feel like before I would have been like, oh, I gotta go drive again. But now I'm like, okay, let's put some good music on. Let's do it. It's sunny outside. Got my black Fly sunglasses. If you go to flies.com, you could get a pair for yourself. Use the code Shelly. But for reals, Black Flies was my first paid modeling gig when I was like 18. And because I had done modeling and stuff like that, but it was my first like real paid photo shoot. It was a production, you know, it wasn't a big production, but it was a, you know, it was put together. And yeah, you know, if I remember when I come back home, I'll see if I can find that photo. I have like the catalog. So Black Flies, I've been, not just because you know, they were my first, but they are good sunglasses and they have so many different styles for men and for women. So yeah, you should go check them out. They last a really long time and they always give you really cute stickers and things like that. So yeah, all right, time to put my shoes on and head on out. Chanclas way. All right, let's go. All right, I was gonna throw on my music, but then I was like, you know what, something was put on my heart. Okay, so I thought I would share this because I never know who watches my videos, and it's so crazy because there's a lot of times, especially when I was more active in the pro wrestling world, people who I never would have guessed in a million freaking years, I think I went the wrong way, would tell me that like, you know, I saw this video you did, or I saw this photo you posed and I really liked it. And I would be so like, oh my goodness, like I didn't know it was like that. I just kind of feel like, oh, it's like mostly fans that watch my stuff, whatever. So that's when I knew like people watched my stuff. So in seeing that, this is a little story for my SoCal wrestlers out there, my indie SoCal wrestlers. So Danielle and I used to be a part of NWA Hollywood, which then turned into CWF Hollywood. I think they still run. I'm not quite sure like who's, I heard something like there was new people in charge. I'm not quite sure. I've been out of the loop for many, many years. But there was a fellow that he was part of like putting the show together, writing the show, producing the show, and his name was Joe Schmo. And you know, he had done things in the wrestling world as well. And Danielle and I love Schmo. He was always really nice to us. And it's so funny because Dave Marquez was the one that was in charge when I was there. And he's very anti-marijuana smoke. And so what we would do is we would go across the street to the beach to smoke, because we were trying to be respectful of like the place where we shot. We shot at this really cute place in Port Hueneme. I believe that they still do. It's really awesome. And shout out to Port Hueneme. And it was like we all had been hanging out for like a really long time. So we just like when we were hanging out, did I go the right way? I think I just messed up. I did. It's okay. I'm gonna take the longer way. But is my out? Oh my goodness. I hope that didn't go on the camera. So because it was so late in the day, we kind of migrated back to where the property was. Now we still were outside of the property to be respectful, you know. And Joe Schmo, he would smoke with us, and one of the things I used to tell Dave Marquez is that my prayer for him and my wish is that one day he would just be a chancla kind of wearing guy. Now chanclas is like a Latin slang for like sandals or like flip-flops or whatever, right? Hold on, this person's gonna go over here. Just go ahead. I'm waiting for you to go. Oh yeah, guys. So I had this like long conversation with Marquez once, telling him that like, because he's so uptight, and then he ended up, he's so like uptight in his Marquez ways that he developed like this heart condition, and when he started to have to take medication for it, I like, my heart really went out to him, because in my opinion, and I've said this to his face, so I'm not talking crap, I don't think Marquez cares for me, and that's fine, like, it's fine. But even though I've known this and told him to his face that I know he doesn't like me, I still can't help but that I have this love for him, you know? I just see him in this way where it's just like, that's just what's up. So anyways, so I'm gonna have to roll this window up because I have to go on the freeway and my AC is out. So, whoo, I better get to my point. So, I told him that one day I hope he could just be just one of those guys that wears their like nice outfits with some chanclas. He needs to wear chanclas and let his toes be free. And I get it, you know, he runs a promotion, he puts a show on, so it's very serious, but he needs to be throwing on those chanclas, because once he's able to embrace the chancla man that I know is deep down inside of him, he's gonna be able to let go of a lot of this like stuff he carries with him. And this is all just my opinion. I don't really even know Marquez that well. I've known him for many, many years, but I don't really know him, like, to be honest. So this is just my opinion from being like a person that's been like a fly in a hole. So I would call him chancla sometimes. And so the code word, if Marquez was coming, because we didn't want to get busted, you know, was like to say chanclas. And Joe was so serious. And he was like, you guys, chanclas! And he was so serious, like not in a joking way. He goes, chanclas! Like, you know, like, oh. So right now, when I showed you guys the clip before of like, oh, let me put my chanclas on. Afterwards, I went, chanclas! And here's the thing, ever since that happened, and that was so many years ago, Danielle and I say that. And then a lot of times we stop and we go, oh man, Joe. And we take that moment to just like send him positive energy wherever his soul is, right? So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because that's like a part, like a small part of wrestling in my life, that like in that moment, I'm sure the people that were there don't even remember that, but Danielle and I do, and we remember it fondly, and we take that with us, and then that makes us think about Joe, and then we have that moment to honor the dead, to be honest, in that moment. And I'll never forget, Danielle and I have talked about this before, we used to live by a cemetery years ago, and I used to take the Mertzes walking in the cemetery, like where you can drive the cars, you know, where the pavement was. And I just found peace there, which is so weird because I have a whole death anxiety. But I remember there was this man, and he would be there every Sunday, and he would be at this grave, and he would bring flowers. He was older, and he had this Cadillac, and he would have music, old school music playing out of the Cadillac, and he would sit there like for a couple hours at this grave, right? And one day I was praying, and I was like, Lord, I just pray that you show me something cool today. That used to be, you know, I'm gonna start doing that again. I used to always say that, just show me something cool today. So that's when I saw the man. I was like, there's that guy again. And I saw him, and he was like getting choked up, but then like he stiffened up, like, oh, I gotta be a man right now, you know. And he sat right back down, and then he rearranged the flowers. He was like, that's the way she would have liked it. And that's when I knew, like, that's what life's about, that you make such an impact on somebody, even if it's just one person, that they would take the time to go every Saturday, you know, to your grave to honor you. It makes me want to go to my grandma's grave more, because after she passed away, I was more like, oh, you know, she's, oh yeah, yeah, this person. Woo. And they're gonna cut that other person off. Boom. Why do people do that? Safety first. Safety first. Anyways, after my grandma passed, I was kind of just like, you know what? She's gone now. You know, my
memory of her. I want to remember her when she was alive. You know, all these different things. I don't want to be superstitious about it. But it's like, no, it's not about that. It's stopping everything in your life. It's like when I would go hang out with my grandma. I would choose to go and hang out with her at her house when a lot of like other family members really necessarily didn't, you know? And it's like, that's the same thing, but it's not like, you know what I mean? So it's a good reminder. And it's been on my mind. Being that my car doesn't have AC is kind of hard right now because it is the summer and I do take Fred with me everywhere. He can't be by himself, like, that's just it. So hopefully I get my AC fixed soon, because in August and September, that's when it's like the hottest here in SoCal. And I don't want to go through it. Even like right now, it's really hot. I'm like kind of starting to feel weird. I'm glad I got off the freeway, but I have to go back on the freeway. But anyways, that was my chocolate story. I'm gonna hit a red light so I can stop this camera real quick, and then I could go on the freeway with my windows down and my music on. Okay, BRB.
You know, even though it felt good to like not have to worry about Fred when I didn't have him with me, I still missed him a lot. So now I'm like, I can't wait to see Fred. Like, I haven't seen him in days. My goodness. I'm just as bad as he is now, aren't I? My goodness, it's been such a busy morning. It just hit noon. So what I'm gonna do is edit everything from yesterday and put it on up. I told myself at noon I'm gonna officially clock in. I've just been working on the house, organizing some customs and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into the day, shall we? Before I start editing though, I am gonna make some sugar water for the hummingbirds. We have our hummingbird feeders here. I see a lot of other kind of birds, but not so much the hummingbirds. So I'm hoping with putting these feeders out, they'll come. Put them out, they will come. Try this again. Now I will get copyright. So I just ordered today Squeezed. It is a juice cleanse. Heidi and Frank from the Heidi and Frank show on KLOS always talk about it. Ooh, look at this. Of course, you have it keeps it nice and cold. And let's see here. We got this. It says orange, pineapple, carrot, apple, beets, and ginger, lemon. That sounds good. Are these the same ones? Yeah, okay. And then this one is the dandelion, spinach, celery, cucumber, lemon. Then we got the coconut, pineapple, spinach, apple. Spinach, cucumber, kale, celery, lemon. Dandelion, cucumber, apple, spinach, watermelon, lemon. I think these are the same ones. Yeah. And then they have in there this cashew milk, so if you want to make it a little bit more hearty. I'm going to start this tomorrow, so yeah, just got it now. I'm going to put them away in the fridge, and then we'll see about it tomorrow.